Hello guys, welcome back. This is gonna really piss off some people, but I'm actually doing this from a happy, healthy place. I figured everything out. This is why I pray to multiple gods, because if anybody knows anything about boundaries, it would be Dionysus. And Dionysus and I were being proper vodka aunties together today and giggling and talking over things, and it's become clear to me that for a long time the community has used a lot of stupid terms, and we've used a lot of stupid words where we shouldn't have. And I looked at the boys yesterday and I told them I'm out. And once I was out for the right reasons, any pressure to be in completely stopped. Let me explain. This will still be a Lokean channel. Still talk about the old man. This is going to raise a lot of hackles, especially for whatever reasons, but let me try to explain this. Even though I've been playing Vodka Auntie with Dionysus, I only have coffee, but I'm still terribly dizzy, so there's that. Um, for a long time, there's been the word God Spousery in the community. I fucking hate that word because it sounds stupid. It's a stupid word. We can all agree on that. And often we use the term marriage, and even though I have told you guys repeatedly I only used the word because we didn't have a better word, we didn't have a better word because that's the wrong word to use. And there were times when I've had more than one. There were times where rings were exchanged and rings weren't, and there were all this fluttery, happy, romantic stuff. But, I'll be the one good vodka aunt in the community. And I will say, it just doesn't last. It just doesn't last, whether it's because your feelings change or because everybody in the community is a fucking toolkit, or because people that claim to have the same kind of relationship think they are the boss of everyone else. They're not. Fuck them. No one, for example, let's say 20 people consider themselves God's spouse or married to, say, Loki or Odin. And one of them decides she gets to tell everyone else how to do it. Fuck her. Fuck that bitch. Throw her off the train. See if she bounces. She has no right to come roaring up to you, as she recently did on my channel, and tell you that you're ashamed to God's spouses and to the community. And I'm like, this is actually what's fucked up with this term. This person is exactly what's fucked up with this term and this concept. Because and the people that think that they have the right to tell other people what to do will be the ones that tell you you're doing it. And I'm like, no. I'm actually saying I'm fucking tired of this horseshit dog and pony show and I'm out. And, you enter a relationship with a god, is what you enter. Whether it be a romantic one or living together as shacking up, as we used to say. Whatever, you enter that. You can't enter a marriage with a god in quite the same way as a nun enters a marriage with Christ. I know everybody always grabs the poor nuns and uses that. I wanted to be a nun. And I wanted to be a nun until I read books written by nuns that had left the convent. And I did this before going into the convent, thankfully. And when I saw what an angry bitch fest it was, as opposed to the idea we all have of peaceful women who all love Christ living together, that are naturally asexual and aromantic, no, it's not like that at all. I was like, holy fucking shit, how can I have this personal, intense relationship with Jesus or the Holy Spirit or God if there's going to be some cranky ass bitch writing me all the time about doing things this way or doing things that way? I'm like, that's not what love and marriage should be. Why can't you have it outside the church? Now the Catholic Church does have it. You can be a lay spouse of Christ and you can skip all the fucking crazies. Yeah, ooh, back here. And once I told them I wanted to leave for the right reasons, they were more than happy. It was like a veil had been lifted, like kind of like I figured my way out of the contract, and it's not somebody came in and destroyed it. It's just someone helped me. All the people that have come on the channel in years and been bitchy and been like, I can be the only God spouse or I can be the only one married or fucking overshare. It's like, that's kind of why I got turned off the idea. Too many people have taken it and kind of destroyed it, as humans tend to do. Just like I didn't go to a convent because a lot of people have just destroyed being in a convent. Um, I don't want to ever claim God's spousery or marriage to a god anymore either. And the nice thing about that is once you're a free agent, once you truly see you both as free and the partnership's kind of over. I got to play vodka auntie with Dionysus. See, the thing is, Odin and Loki, while I was in that kind of relationship with them, or at least claiming I was, let's say claiming I was, because I don't want you guys getting confused. They fully used it to get their way, to get a Nordic-only household, and to forbid me from seeing other gods because they now had a right to. A god has a right to tell you exactly shit in a relationship. If you start giving over your free will, that's abhorrent, and you shouldn't be doing that. Gods are just like us. They'll take advantage. They're not little tiny angels that are going to say, no, no, don't do that. Around here, now that they're all back, Asmodeus and Dionysus are definitely the vodka aunts of the family, and they're like, cheers! More Vegas and fun for us. And, it's good because, you need that. You need gods that are honest about it. You need gods that are like, hey, it's a relationship, you're shacking up with somebody, great, but when the fun times are over, just everybody say, hey, we have fun, but one second, guys, I need some coffee. Hold on. Pour some. Oop, had some in my cup. And you know what the funny thing was? I think the gods in their mysterious ways gave me an out. They knew I wanted out for a while. I've talked about getting out for a while. It doesn't mean I don't love the gods or that if you consider yourself a god spouse or married to a god, I'm judging you, but remember how my order was supposed to ship Sunday? It shipped today, 2 full days later, even though they told me they had shipped it on Sunday, and I was like, holy fuck, because I was supposed to get it today. It shipped today. So they're saying it'll be here Wednesday. I'm like, well, fucking shit, unless it's flying. What are you gonna do? Make it teleport? It's not gonna fucking get here tomorrow. But, it was kind of like, as I'm looking at that, I'm like, this isn't a gesture of goodwill, and I told them that there was nothing they could really do to, make that magic again, because you can't unhave experiences of people roaring up to you and people being an ass clown about stuff. I had everything from people sticking their hands out saying, I don't believe in what you're doing, but fucking give me free shit, to, and I've had that happen, to people who say the way I do it is the only way to do it and you're fucking wrong, to people claiming I'm trying to use this fucking G word to slam other people over the head. That was a woman that a couple of days ago, and I'm like, no, I'm actually saying I think you deserve respect from other people who claim the same type of relationship, not in a superior way, as she was fucking misreading it because that's what she was doing, but in a way of, don't fucking start static with other people who claim to have the same relationship. That's human civility. I don't care if you think you're married to a god or you're a god spouse or whatever. It's just, it's showing me, the human reaction to it. It's like, this is some horse shit right here. I'm out. And once you say that and you realize you aren't held into that relationship by some kind of sacred bond or whatever nonsense horseshit we were making up, I don't know, it was pretty muddled. Um, you're free. You're free. Are you still enjoying the relationship? Great, stay in it, but as a free and equal partner, not as someone who becomes increasingly subservient to the god and is one fucking baboon here away from being a god slave. And that is a phenomenon I've ever and only seen in white people. Please stop. Please stop, white people. Seriously, you have to take slavery now too. What the hell's wrong with you? And it's a lot of the heathen community I'm seeing appropriating stuff that I don't think that, for example, this doll that's been in my family more decades than most of you have been alive, and more decades than I've been alive. I don't see stuff like this as cultural appropriation. I don't think you're doing cultural appropriation because you like style furniture from Africa or Europe or India or whatever. I don't see that as cultural appropriation. But when you start practicing white people voodoo, that is cultural appropriation. It seems heathenry anymore. And as a true anymore is a lot of white people voodoo. And remember, I'm a witch of the old school. And I have always told you guys that the gods will fucking find a way to get a message to you. You don't need to go get someone to read your cards. You don't need to go get someone to look into a crystal ball. You don't need to have someone pretend they're being possessed or channel or whatever. You just need you. And you need to find the way you communicate. Do you communicate by the radio? Do you communicate by going out and listening to people in a crowd? Well, fuck that in 2020, but you know what I mean. Do you communicate by tarot? Do you communicate by meditation? Do you communicate just by going free and easy and finding out whatever way you communicate? It can be fucking anything, and it don't have to make nonsense, make sense rather to me. You will find your own way to communicate, and was kind of raising my old witch hackles that all these people were saying we need people to be possessed because we need to speak to the gods. We can't speak to them any other way. And I'm like, no, no. For example, I fucking love Apollo, but you do know that those priestesses and seers were tripping on noxious gas fumes, right? They would fucking babble and he couldn't hear and shit. And the priest would interpret it. And the amazing thing was, the priest would interpret it based on how much money you gave them. The more money you gave them, the better the fucking outcome. Mysterious, isn't it? And I do believe and have worked with Apollo, but I looked at him and I said, that was some shady shit. And he said, well, humans set that up. Don't look at me. I was like, that sounds about right. But that's my experience. There might be people out there that have a genuine experience of Apollo saying it was always true and sacred. But, to me, I'm like, that's some shady shit. That woman was tripping out of her fucking mind. She was being poisoned. And, it's just, you do have to, as somebody very well and eloquently said, you have to take in the comment section recently, you have to take the delicate tightrope dance that we do between science and belief. And it's okay to look back at some of the stuff you believed in before, even at the beginning of this year, and going, you know what, that's bullshit. We have science. It's okay. It's okay to look at the relationship all the gods have now and go, but that can't be right because we have archaeological evidence to dispute this. That's okay too. If the gods are, in your experience, insisting they now have that relationship, that's also valid. But there's nothing wrong with looking at science and archaeology and all the other stuff we rather clever primates have come up with, because we should. And it was so liberating, guys, to say, I don't care, if we feel like still being together as a family unit or whatever, that's fine, but the burden's lifted off of all of us. The moment I said, one, they all know I think God spousing's the worst fucking word ever. I said, the moment I decided that that's really not ideal or possibility, nor is marriage, and I always use the word marriage because I didn't have a better fucking word for it. You know, everything just kind of lifted, and the energy in the house lifted, because once you let go of that, you're not in a position now where you have to fight to keep them, because it's an open door contract. It's like it works as well as it works. And if too many people come in from the outside and destroy the contract, well, then that is what it is. There are too many people running around the community because they're so insecure and they're oversharing so they can destroy the god's other relationships. I'm like, one, good thing to dealing with the god, because that does matter to them if you're running around destroying relationships. And two, good luck with the community, because people will remember all the shit you pulled. That woman that roared up to me and said I was trying to have power over other god spouses or whatever was actually doing that with me. She was trying to force me out of the community, and I'm like, you know what? I have been fucking waiting and praying for an open door. Thank you, bitch. So, I don't believe in god spousing anymore. I don't believe in the marriage anymore. Can you hook up with and live with a god in a way that's would be like shacking up or like a lay marriage? Sure. Do I recommend calling it a marriage now? No, and I know a lot of people have just made vows. If you want to still do that, do it. But if you reach the point in the relationship where you're not happy, where you don't feel loved, where you have too many people walking up to you and giving you static, just keep in mind that it's an open door contract. You can walk in and out of that door anytime you want. You're free. The God doesn't own you. You are not forced into that. You don't have to be married. You don't have to be married. You might want to, but you don't have to. And that distinction makes all the difference in the world. It's like you don't have to be married. You don't have to be, it's nothing they can force on you. If you want to be there and you're happy, you're there. The day it becomes unfun is the day you get the fuck out. You don't have to have divorce because it really wasn't a sacred bond in the first place. It felt like a sacred bond to you for a while, but no, it doesn't. It's naturally dissolved. But if you want me to be your favorite vodka auntie and divorce lawyer, I will. I sprinkle magical divorce dust on you as of now. You are free, my children. Go in peace and frolic as the newly divorcees that you are. I'm hearing giggling and cheering. And actually, we were all happy. For us, we reached the end of the line. It's impossible in today's age of people oversharing and people making everything a competition to have any kind of meaningful relationship like that unless you go entirely offline. You will have to, because you will find too much competition. You will find too many people who claim the same relationship that will want to run yours and want to speak for the entire community. Fuck that bitch. Throw her ass off the train. See if she bounces. Did I already say that? Probably did. Anyhow, it's a relief. It is. If I want to wear my rings, I can wear my rings. If I want to see someone again, I can see them again, because you should be, and this is going to make a lot of people mad, you should be an equal partner in the relationship. Gone are the days of you going to church and getting down on bended knees and begging God for something. You became a pagan for a reason. You fuck that shit. Fuck that noise. You're not gonna get on your bended knees. You're not gonna throw yourself on the floor. Have some fucking self-respect. You're an equal partner, because you, as the human, you have the right to say fuck this noise and walk out the door. And that makes you the equal partner. The God can't force you. No God can force you. Fucking hell. Gods can't force people to be decent or handle Walmart orders. What do you think they're going to do to you in a relationship? So, I get you cheering back there. It's fun because then you can follow the natural you. And I'm going to be vodka auntie today and hang out with Dionysus and drink way too much coffee and probably break into some soda and eat junk food and bitch out Walmart because where's my fucking order, man? And, I might call my friend and cancel something we had planned for this week because I'm still kind of dizzy. And I'm like, well, I probably could navigate, but, it's fucking 2020. I know this is my allergies, but I also know she has a depressed immune system. And I don't know what the fuck is exactly causing this, even though I know I don't know. I'm like, yeah, maybe I should just call and cancel. Maybe I'm being slowed down for a reason. There will always be a next time to go where I won't be fucking dizzy as hell. So I think that's what I'm gonna do today, guys. And kind of like that. I'm canceling a trip I was looking forward to because I'm like, I don't know. And letting go of any idea of God spousing, or letting idea of any idea of marriage to a god. It frees you up. Not just to go run around the town catting around, but it frees you up to look at the relationship and go, is this working? And if it's not, it's okay. Relationships with the gods end. They can end. It not for everyone. Some people do make a lifetime devotion of it, but for some people, they really reach the end and you realize you're now at the good friends stage, maybe the friends with benefits stage for the people that overshare. But you're no longer madly in love. If you had a chance to marry them today, and again, I'm saying that's a really bad idea, you wouldn't. You wouldn't. You'd just be like, "Ugh, I'd live with you. I would even be friends with benefits with you, but nothing else. No." So, it's one of those things that, once you let go of the idea, you're okay. It's like, yeah, you could live with 80 of them if you wanted and be shacking up with all of them. It's really nobody else's fucking business until the moment you share. Have an orgy every night. I don't care, but you once you let go of the idea of getting laughter and cheering and applause, once you let go of the idea that you now have to be in this forever, past the point of it being fun and past the point of it being any real relationship, then you're free to go and live your life as you want. So if you are looking for a God divorce in 2020, I sprinkle God divorce fairy dust over you. I don't have to because, the more I've seen in the community, I just don't believe in God spousing or even using the word marriage anymore. Because it implies the wrong kind of relationship. It implies, a relationship that too many people take advantage of, or too many people want something out of you from, or too many people use to dictate what everybody else in the same relationship can do. I don't give two shits what you do. Be an asshole, see where it gets you in the community. So I thought, ooh. So if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe. It's just right for me. I don't want someone who just, entered that kind of relationship to panic. It might work for a few individual people, but for me, it's like I can see why it really doesn't work. And it's not just me. There are a lot of people that have written on it and said this is exactly why it won't work because this fucking community is batshit crazy. It's why being a nun doesn't work for a lot of women. They thought it would be, women dressed up in beautiful habits and praying to the Lord, and it's an absolute bitch fest where all of your power and identity is taken away from you. It's the exact opposite of what you thought a loving marriage with your divine power would be like, right? And that's kind of what God spousery and God marriage has become for vast majority of people of all genders. It's just people are making it into an absolute bitch fest. You enter the convent, all right. Now get out. Live in the normal world with normal people. So, if you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe. I know this is going to piss so many people off, but it's like, you know what? I just don't believe anymore, and I don't think this is a good idea, and I regret that I ever taught people about the stupid G word or the concept of marriage. I regret that now, but you gain life experience. So I apologize for ever teaching you about such a dumb concept, but you live and you learn. So I will see you guys later. Bye bye.